Once upon a time, in a cheerful little village surrounded by green hills and sparkling rivers, there lived two best friends named Ayaan and Rafi. They were inseparable. Every morning, they would meet under the big banyan tree near the playground, and from there, their day of adventures would begin. Ayaan was a kind-hearted boy who loved helping others. He always carried a small smile on his face and a sparkle in his eyes. Rafi, on the other hand, was playful and full of energy, loved to laugh, run, and make up games for both of them to play. The two boys were like two peas in a pod, where one went, the other followed. One bright sunny morning, Ayaan and Rafi were walking to school together. The sky was blue, birds were chirping, and the cool breeze carried the sweet scent of flowers. Ayaan carried a shiny red lunchbox packed lovingly by his mother. Inside were his favorite treats, sandwiches, cookies, and an apple. Rafi, however, had been in a hurry that morning, and in his rush, he forgot to take his lunch. As the school bell rang, all the children gathered for recess. They sat in groups, laughing and sharing food. Rafi looked at the others eating happily and felt a little sad, and his stomach growled softly. Ayaan noticed at once and asked gently, "Rafi, why aren't you eating?" Rafi smiled shyly and said, I forgot my lunch at home today." Without a second thought, Ayaan opened his lunchbox and said, "Don't worry, Rafi, we can share mine." Rafi hesitated, "But then you'll have less to eat." Ayaan grinned and replied, "That's okay. My mom says food tastes better when you share it with a friend." So, they sat under the shady tree in the schoolyard and divided everything equally, half the sandwich, one cookie each, and shared bites of the apple. As they ate, they laughed, told jokes, and felt happier than ever. That day, the food really did taste better, just as Ayaan's mother had said. After school, they walked home together. On the way, they passed by an old lady who was struggling to carry her basket of vegetables. Ayaan quickly ran up and said, "Grandma, may we help you?" The old woman smiled kindly. "Oh, that would be wonderful, my dear." Rafi and Ayaan each took one side of the basket and carried it all the way to her home. When they reached, the old lady blessed them and gave them to shiny oranges as a thank you gift. Ayaan smiled and handed one to Rafi, saying, "Here, one for you." But Rafi shook his head and said, "You helped too. You should take both." Ayaan laughed. "No, Rafi. We both helped, so we both share." They each peeled an orange and enjoyed the sweet, juicy taste. The sun was setting behind the hills, and the orange glow made everything look magical. Days passed, and the two friends kept sharing little things, crayons in class, toys in the park, and even stories during the evening walks. Their friendship grew stronger with every act of kindness. But one day, something unexpected happened. Their village announced a kite-flying competition. Children from all over the village were excited. Rafi loved kites more than anything. He'd been dreaming of flying the biggest and brightest kite in the sky. But when he went to buy one, he realized he didn't have enough money. He felt disappointed and sat quietly under the banyan tree. Ayaan came running with a big smile and said, "Rafi, I just got a beautiful new kite. Look at the colors, red, yellow, and blue." Rafi tried to smile but couldn't hide his sadness. "It's beautiful," he said softly. Ayaan noticed his friend's quiet voice and asked, "What's wrong, Rafi?" Rafi sighed. "I wanted to buy a kite too, but I don't have enough money." Ayaan thought for a moment, then said, "Why don't we share my kite? Can fly it together." Rafi's eyes brightened. "Really? You'd share it with me?" "Of course," Ayaan said cheerfully. "What are friends for?" On the day of the competition, the sky was filled with colorful kites dancing in the wind. Ayaan and Rafi stood together, holding the string of their shared kite. They worked as a team. Rafi controlled the string while Ayaan watched the wind's direction. Their teamwork was perfect. The kite soared higher and higher until it was the highest in the sky. The crowd cheered as the announcer declared, "The winners are Ayaan and Rafi, the best friends with the highest kite." Both boys jumped with joy. They held the trophy together and smiled proudly. "We did it, Ayaan," shouted Rafi. "No," Ayaan said with a grin. "We shared it, that's why we won." That evening, they sat by the river, watching their reflection in the water. The golden sunset sparkled on the surface, and the breeze gently swayed the grass. Rafi looked at Ayaan and said, "You know, I learned something today." "What's that?" Ayaan asked. Rafi smiled. Sharing doesn't make things smaller, it makes happiness bigger. Ayaan nodded. You're right. When we share, we care. And when we care, we make the world a little kinder. From that day on, Ayaan and Rafi became known in their village as the Sharing Friends. Whenever someone needed help, they were always the first to lend a hand. Whether it was giving away their toys to younger kids or helping farmers in the field, they always found joy in sharing. Years later, even as they grew up, their friendship remained as strong as ever. They often told the younger children of the village, "Never be afraid to share what you have. Even a small thing can bring a big smile to someone's face." And so the village of Green Hill became a place filled with kindness, laughter, and love, all because two little boys had once shared a lunchbox, a kite, and a simple but powerful lesson: sharing is caring. Moral of the story? True friendship is built on kindness, love, and sharing. When we share what we have, whether it's food, toys, or time, we make the world a happier and better place for everyone.